Surf's up, guys, it's Mauisnake here, and we're going to do the Rio Pick'ems today, and we play on hard mode. It's like when you play Wordle on hard mode. It's not actually that much hard, but it gives you some semblance of challenge. And how do we play the hard mode for the Pick'ems, you may ask? Well, it's we try to get 9 out of 9 right. I don't play that 5 just to get the coins type stuff. I try to get everything right, okay? We play for 100%. We're A+ students. We're not just some B+ students. We're not some B- students. We go all the way. We get the 100%. We do the extra credit at the end of the class if we can, if the teacher allots us it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get everything correct. We're going to get the 3-0 here, and you get the 3-0 by picking Vitality. That's right. Don't waste it by putting it at the bottom. If you actually want to go all the way, if you want to get that 9 out of 9, which no one will care about except for your own personal pride, you put Vitality there. And that is because they are a team that is probably going to have a chance to win this major. Yep, that's a lot of qualifiers there, but we're going to still put them all out there anyways. Vitality 3-0. And so the next team that I think is going to make it through for sure is Cloud9. This is a team that I've had a lot of ups and downs with. They're my toxic relationship right now. Some days I love them. Some days I hate them. Some days Nafany digs that knife right into my heart and twists it. And sometimes I'm just crying there on the streets, broken. I'm drinking right from the bottle, and I'm thinking, Nafany, when are you going to get it together? Because it hurts. But I think this is a pretty easy group stage for them. So I think that there's no chance that they're not going to make it through right now. And then things get a little bit dicier. Not that dicey. I think it's still pretty obvious who's going to make it through this one. But I'm actually going to go with Furia. This is a team that I think, because they're playing in Brazil, even though they had a little bit of a stumble lately, they still did all right. They still made ESL Pro League playoffs. They still actually went 3-1 at their road to Rio. The only team they lost to being Evil Geniuses in a weird way. Let's put it like that. They didn't know what they were getting into. They probably didn't scout EG. They probably saw EG in the server against them, and they're like, EG, who's Nealon? That sounds like someone's nephew. We're gonna roll them. But he actually had some strats. That being said, I do not think EG is going to be making it through this one. Next team up is OG. I think that they are a team that is honestly really solid with the pieces that they have. I think that the crowd will work against them, though, because most of these guys are going to piss their pants. But I think they're still strong enough on paper that they're going to be making it through this one. And now a team that is also really strong and already has some arena experience is actually Maus. This is a team that many people have had to turn their opinions on. They've had to change it up, switch it up. And I think that with how Maus have been playing, it's impossible to discredit them. That's how I'd put it. I don't think they're sick. I don't think they're going to win the major. I don't think they're going to even come top 4. But actually, they could have a playoff berth. They could actually make it in the first round of the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe they could win a round. Depends on the matchup, actually. If they play like a Spirit, I totally see it being possible. But moving on from that, Maus, yeah, pretty safe pick at that. There is a team that I think is not going to falter to underdogs, and that is Outsiders. It just feels like you are playing the most grinding, grueling Counter-Strike ever. Anytime you load up a game against this team, you see them in the server, and you're like, Jesus Christ, we are going to be on this map for an hour and 20 minutes, aren't we? Whew, yeah. Enough to watch a short film, or maybe 2, or a couple episodes of your favorite TV show, and I think many people would rather watch their favorite TV show than watch this team play, but I love him. I love James. I love how he calls. Maybe I don't love James as a person. I don't have a parasocial relationship with him, but I do think that this team is going to be making it through. I think that they are very difficult for teams like IHC to beat, for teams like Greyhound to beat, for teams like 00 Nation, Gamer Legion, 9Z. I think all of those teams are just going to struggle versus Outsiders. I think there's a couple weird teams that could beat them, like Big or B&E. I think they kind of have a weird enough style that could work in their favor against a team like Outsiders. But for teams that want to play clear-cut Counter-Strike, Outsiders will eat them alive. And that's what their logo says. It says, I don't know what it says, actually. It's like a purple bear with like a ghost tail. It's kind of like a badger, but it's also saying no. I don't know. No means no. Don't forget that. Your body, your choice. Okay, so next up, we've got Fnatic. This is a team that actually I think is probably just one of the better teams on paper here. It's kind of a weird position that I find them in with them having no like an IGL with the least experience almost on LAN, whereas you got Nikodas, you got Roy, you got Crims. All these guys can actually probably carry this kind of team, but then you have a leader who might need some help, and I think that's really kind of like it's kind of like this team is arranged in the wrong way. Usually you want the leader to be the old guy, but they've got the young guy as the leader. But I still think that the quality of players in that core, that 3 that I just said, on LAN, I think that's fine. They're going to do just fine. Next up, this is where things get a little weird also, is the team that is going to just thrive in this environment. It's Imperial. Yeah, I really do think Imperial probably, if I had to order this, I probably would put Imperial above Fnatic. I might put them even above OG, and kind of on the same level as Outsiders, because what Imperial have is that they have the crowd on their side every single game, and where some of these teams that I was talking about may not have the most LAN experience, that's where Imperial just never seems to die, because if they can keep the game even relatively close, even 6 rounds away, every single mistake is so magnified by the opponents. Every time they die, the fans just go roaring, and Imperial are a team that just hold their nerves so well. I don't even think they should have made it through the road to Rio, honestly. I feel like Complexity should have beat them. But I also thought that Imperial should have made it to beat Cloud9 at the last major. So this is so strange, but yeah, I think Imperial are just a team that are, in many ways, it's hard to pin, tactically speaking or strategically, why they're better, but they just can hold their nerve the best. That's it. That's my 7 right there. And I think the easy 0-3 is Greyhound going back down under. At least they're in the same hemisphere, so it's not going to be as jarring to go across the planet when they have to fly home. That's it, guys. Thanks, everybody. This is your 9 out of 9 pick'ems. We're playing on hard mode. This is how we're going to play the entire thing. And as always, being toxic is a choice.